Hi, I'm fitness expert Dan Palomino, and in this controversial show, research scientist, author, and weight loss industry insider Josh Bezoni claims he has discovered the cure to set you free from belly fat. It's his new book, Belly Fat Free. Josh, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Dan. Glad to be here.
Good to have you here. I know you want to talk about these obesity additives that we tackle in the book. I got to ask you a couple of questions first. You're a weight loss industry insider. You've worked for the top weight loss companies around the world. You're a research scientist, degreed in the study of nutrition. You're on a mission, I understand now, to take 100 tons of belly fat off of America to essentially slim down the statue of obesity here. That's a big goal. How do you plan on pulling that off?
Well, I plan on pulling that off with the truth. You know, they say the truth will set you free, and the truth will also set you free from belly fat. Because, you know, Dan, the American people have been lied to. They've been lied to for decades by weight loss scam artists and by these big food manufacturers that are putting what I call obesity additives. They're man-made chemicals. They're putting them into our foods, foods that we're feeding our children, that we're eating. They're addicting us to these foods so they make more money and we get more and more overweight. And here's an example of the problems this is causing. Over 350,000 Americans are dying each year from weight-related disease. Childhood obesity is running rampant. Our children are getting sick. They're getting overweight. They're in the future going to have to go through the same struggles that I've gone through being overweight. And someone has to do something about this. So I've made it my mission to remove 100 tons of belly fat from America, and I'm going to expose this conspiracy that's going on.
Let's just touch on something you said. You said you were overweight, is that right?
Yeah, we can pull up the before and after pictures here. And this is embarrassing to talk about because here I am, a fitness expert, a weight loss expert, and I'm teaching people how to lose weight, but I'm overweight. And what happened was I've always had a problem with food addiction. Even as a young child, I kept eating and eating. I was always obsessed with food. But luckily, I was an athlete in college, so I kept my weight in control. But as I got older, the food addiction became worse and worse. And what I've linked it to is these food additives that they're putting in our foods.
Wow. You've passed this information on to your students, I would imagine.
Yes. As soon as I started losing the weight, I shared this information with my students, my hard case students that couldn't lose weight. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, they've been trying to lose weight with all these crazy weight loss gizmos and gadgets and programs that are almost impossible to follow. And they're finally losing the weight, setting themselves free from belly fat, and doing it quickly.
All right, we've got one of those success stories right now. Let's take a look at it.
53 pounds ago, I would not have been at the beach. I was just too embarrassed to go out. I wouldn't be wearing cute clothes. I definitely wouldn't be wearing a swimsuit. I feel very differently now. I just have so much more energy, so much more confidence. I just love my life so much more, and I want to go do things. I want to get out. I want to go places. I want to see the world.
Proud of Gail because she set out to lose weight, and she did it. I mean, I've always loved her. I feel the same about her. I'm just very proud of her because she's, you know, done what she set out to do. Yeah, I have to say, I do look a lot. I probably stare a little longer, and you know, but I do find myself looking a little closer, I guess.
I mean, that's just absolutely amazing. And the thing that I like best about that clip is the reaction of her boyfriend, Ty. I mean, he's more excited about her transformation than she is.
And that's what happens a lot. People are getting more and more respect and appreciation from their significant others. They're making more money, you know, at their jobs. They're getting promoted, and they're feeling good about themselves. They're looking in the mirror, and they love what's looking back at them. And you can't put a price on that.
Now, you talk about in the book that belly fat is one of the most dangerous types of fat, and I understand that. You can explain some more, but how do I know when I have too much belly fat?
Yeah, well, belly fat is the most dangerous kind of fat. There's an internal belly fat they call the deadly belly fat, and that's around all of our organs, and it's responsible for a lot of disease, such as certain cancers, diabetes, you know, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart disease, and you've got to get rid of that internal belly fat. Now, how people can tell if they have too much is men, if they measure around their belly button and their waist is 40 inches or more, they're in a really high-risk category. Women, it's 35 inches around their belly. But you and I both know that people watching at home, they don't have to race and get a tape measure, okay? They can put their hands right now, if they would, on their stomachs. They can feel, you know, the old saying, can you pinch an inch?
Yeah.
Well, that's what's going on. And you can look at a profile of yourself. If your belly sticks out more than anything else, you know you have a problem, and there's time to do something about it.
All right, so did you find out what was making you overweight?
I did. You know, I've been in the weight loss industry my whole life. And I had access to the top doctors, top research scientists, top medical information out there. And there's these studies coming out. And these scientists told me, Josh, you've got to see these studies, because when they're processing and manufacturing our foods, a lot of these food manufacturers are adding man-made chemicals. They don't need to be in there. They put them in there to preserve the life of the food, so it can sit on our shelves for years and years and years without breaking down. They don't need to be in there. So I started looking at these studies. Now, I brought some of these studies with me today. What these studies are saying is that these food chemicals, these obesity additives, are making us sick, and they're making us overweight. Now, it's not just me saying it, like I said. Here's some of these studies, okay?
Yeah.
This is studies that have just come out in the last month, okay?
Okay.
Okay, now this isn't it. There's more, okay? These are more studies
Right.
that are telling us these obesity additives are making us overweight and making us sick and doing it to our children. Here's more. Here's some more. You start to get the picture here?
Yeah.
And
Enough.
Here's some more.
No, don't bring any more.
And then I've got another pile down here, okay?
Right.
So the point is that it's not me saying this. This is the research that's come out lately. It hasn't got out into the media yet because there's a big conspiracy to cover up this information and these studies. So that's what I'm here to expose today, to get the truth out.
All right, I mean, that's just more information than I want to deal with right now, but give me the basics. I mean, what foods have obesity additives in them?
Well, I'll grab the book right here. But there's a lot of foods that are in people's kitchens. If I were to come through the camera right now and go into someone's kitchen, they wouldn't believe the foods that I find these dangerous and deadly obesity additives in there, okay? So let's start right away, right from the book here. There's salad dressings. Low-fat and fat-free versions still have obesity additives in them. Cereals, even the healthy kind that say they're healthy and people are feeding their children, have obesity additives in them. Chips, crackers, salsa, bread, pancakes, waffles, noodles, condiments like ketchup and jelly even, canned fruits and vegetables, which people think are really healthy for them, have obesity additives in them. Frozen dinners, prepared foods, soft drinks, fruit juices, teas, junk food, fast foods.
All right, I get the point. It's everything we eat.
It is everything we eat, but there are versions of these foods that don't have the obesity additives in them, and they're at your grocery store. So right here in the book, I show people what foods have, what brands have the obesity additives in them, and what brands don't. So when you're going down the shopping aisle with your cart, you can simply say, I know that version has obesity additives. I'm going to choose this version. You grab it off the shelf, and you're helping your family be more healthy, and you'll lose weight.
Now, Josh, I know you brought some success stories, and let's take a look at those right now.
I held my head up high before and looked people in the eye, but now it's always with a smile. And I'm happy to feel alive. I'm happy. I feel good in my own skin, and I want to help others feel that way.
You know, since I've lost the weight, I definitely am a lot more proud, and I notice instead of going, oh, I wish I looked like that girl, I say, man, she looks good, and I'm feeling good about myself, and so I don't have to play the comparison game.
When I wake up in the morning, it makes me feel as though I'm still the luckiest guy on the face of the planet. There's really no other person who I would rather spend the rest of my life with.
Folks, if you're struggling with belly fat, and a lot of us have over time, it's the most dangerous kind there is. I mean, you may be feeling ashamed because you don't like the image that's looking back at you in the mirror. You may feel embarrassed because you're out shopping for larger sizes. This is the solution: belly fat free.